what I just said? I feel like Shay's answers.
That's up to y'all.
Oh my.
You're like, I worked hard
You
for
a
this.
jewel, baby. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not going nowhere.
I mean, like he said, we were such good friends and we got so close together that
Mhm.
if we were to go our separate ways, it was almost like I couldn't imagine life without him. Like we're so synced together.
Welcome to
Loving Me, Loving You, and Loving Us, where God's favorites link up with your favorites. I'm Dr. Lara.
And I'm Memi.
And this is the first episode of our new show.
Woo, everybody clap for us. Woo.
We growing, y'all. We growing. And we have friends, your favorite content creators, the Shofs, here as our first couple. So Loving Me, Loving You, Loving Us is our new show where we just are really highlighting real couples who go through real everyday experiences. Yep. They're experiencing the valleys, they're thriving at the peaks, and they're doing it their way. And so we know there's a such thing as like celebrity couples goals and all of that. And we don't really care about that.
We're not subscribing to
That's
that.
not really our thing.
That's not why
Like,
we're
it's
here.
cute to look at.
Yeah.
But we want to get with people that we know that can just give us some insight and really share how their love for themselves, their love in their marriage has really created the legacy that they want to see for their families and their marriages. So we are so excited to have the Shofs as our first guests. Can you guys please introduce yourselves?
Well, thank you so much for having us on the show.
Yes.
Now that I know we're the first couple, it's like no pressure.
Pressure. There's pressure. It's like, no.
Yeah.
pressure,
So
no
my name is
pressure.
Abisola,
And I'm Shay.
and we're the Shofs.
Yeah.
Nice.
And we make content online, like Lara said, and just kind of inspire other couples and marriages that marriage can be fun and interesting and enjoyable. It's not a torturous institution.
Wow.
We try to tell you guys that.
Tell them
We try to
on
tell you
every
that
platform.
every day.
We try to yell it from
That's
the
what we say.
rooftops.
And we need more people like you to tell it to them,
I'm
right?
telling
Because the
you.
narrative out there is
It's crazy.
The exact opposite.
Yeah.
Because it's more
totally.
interesting to like tune into the drama, but
What?
there's a lot of people in their homes that are just enjoying dinner together, enjoying
Exactly.
a lovely time together that's not making it to the news or
right.
not making it to
Thank
social
you.
media. So
Thank
We love
you.
how you guys depict it.
Yeah,
And
yeah, 'cause
y'all
it's
do
real.
make it fun.
No,
You
it's
make
real.
it fun.
Yeah, and
So
it's
we love to
crazy because
see
it's
it.
like you guys are able to take like everyday things and make them relatable into
Yeah.
marriage, which I really love. So
Really a gift.
yeah, it's a gift and it's a blessing, but it's the truth, right? Like there are so many couples out there who are just regular and are just go to work, come home, enjoy time together, and there's no complaints.
Yeah.
And the world is a better place.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that like at least having platforms like ours really showcases that yes, marriage does take work, but it's good work.
Good work.
It's good work.
Enjoyable
So
work.
we're
Fun
definitely
work.
happy. So where can people find you? Let's go there first. Where can people find you guys?
Everywhere. You want to tell them?
Sure. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube.
There you go.
Not yet on Snapchat, but you can find us at the Shofs.
You never know.
THESHOFS.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice. Perfect. Good. So like we want you guys, if you're already not, because a lot of our followers follow you guys, but for those who are new here, the Shofs, really great content. Just really again depicting marriage in a way that is relatable. I think that that's really the key piece for me. And so how we always, it doesn't matter what platform we're on, we always start with an icebreaker. 'Cause
Always.
it just kind of helps people get to know you guys just a bit better.
Okay.
So we're going to do a little bit of this or that.
Mm.
So whatever one you prefer and why. And obviously your answers can be different, so it doesn't matter. So this or that, full-time 9 to 5 or full-time content creator?
Full time staying on the beach.
Period.
Oh my.
I
I know that's right.
I
I
know
mean, if
that's
I
right.
have to choose one, obviously I love what I do. I would do content all day, every day.
I love
Yeah.
that.
That's a hard one for me.
No,
Is
yeah.
it?
Because I'm actually going through that conversation right now with her, where there's this beautiful role for me at 9 to 5, but I like the flexibility of being a content creator.
Of course.
But I love I love what I do. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like both.
Yeah.
Is what I'd
Yeah.
say.
So you say both.
That's a good point, Shay. So like, how do you guys even juggle that? Because I mean, it's different when like maybe you don't love what you do, right? Like maybe it's not your purpose. Maybe it's just work for you, right? And I do it because it's like, it meets a need. I need the money, so I do it, right? Versus where like, I have these two passions. Like I love the content creation part of it. I love that we're able to showcase something that comes naturally for us in a way that's relatable. But then I have these gifts and these talents that I'm also really, really enjoy as well. What do I do? You know what I mean? So I think that is like an interesting place to be in, a good place.
Yes. Good
You know,
problems, right?
good problem to have, but really nice. Like it doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah.
It's a lot more stressful, I'll tell you.
It is.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that just a little bit?
Oh, dang. All right. So for the longest time, my job was in New Jersey,
Mhm.
and so I was going to New Jersey every other week, and it was quite a tiring process. I'll go up on Tuesday, come back on Thursday, but in between, we also have a business, right?
Yeah.
And we have to keep producing content. We have brand deals that we have to record,
Yeah.
publish, and at some point, I was losing my hair. Well, I lost my hair a long time ago, but if I had hair, I would have lost my hair.
You would have
again.
lost it.
Okay. But no, it was quite stressful, but it was
Yeah.
also fulfilling because, the work I was doing was in product, building products as a product manager.
Yeah.
I was essentially being promoted to a director.
Mm.
And then with content, I like creating, right? Creating
course.
ideas and said, do you want to create products that people use? Or do you want to create experiences that people enjoy? And
Ooh.
I couldn't choose.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough one. I wouldn't be able to choose either.
That is a tough one. That's a tough one. It's like, again, a good problem to have though.
Very
A good problem to have. So yeah, we'll keep you in prayer for whatever you decide.
Wherever God
Because I'm
leads
sure
you.
God is all up and through that. So I
Yeah,
mean, I know you're probably
sure.
not just making a decision on your own. So whatever you feel like you need to do for your family, God will give you guys the right direction. So okay. So funny content or more serious content?
For me is, I would say, I would phrase it as value-driven content.
Okay.
So whether it's presented in a fun way,
Yeah.
which is preferable, but I like to drive value to whoever's
That's good.
watching. Yeah.
I would probably say funny with a hint of creativity as opposed to, I love, driving value and all, but let's laugh. Life is too serious to laugh, to not laugh. So
Yeah.
And that's a summary of like, working together and having different
Differences.
interests.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's been a journey.
I can only imagine.
It's like,
We're going to
which
get into
way?
that journey,
We are
girl.
going to get into that.
We're going to get into that.
We're going to get into that. You want to do the next one?
Yeah, so the next one is, do you prefer restaurants and going out to eat and outsourcing or home cooking?
Who's doing the home cooking?
I was about to say, I feel like Shay's answer is
That's
maybe
up to
home
y'all.
cooking.
oh my.
That's a hard one.
Really?
Really?
To a restaurant every time.
I mean, as long as I'm not cooking, honestly, I don't
You don't
care
care.
where
Okay,
I eat,
cool.
whether out or at home.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say for me, as long as it's different flavors every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So probably restaurants.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
You
nice.
like the variability, right?
Precisely.
I could eat the same thing for lunch every day and not get tired. And
Really?
he's like, the next day he's like, yeah, so
What's next?
So you're not doing batch cooking, basically.
well, I put it in the freezer and we just
Yeah.
kind of mix up
That's
the
that's me.
Yeah, well,
That's
we
me.
need to have like 7 options. So on day 1, it's just day 2
wait
is
a
that.
minute.
When
7
I
options.
say batch
Nah,
cooking, I mean I'm
messing
cooking 2 things.
And you gonna pick and
pick it.
choose.
Right.
Mix
As the
it
week
up.
goes on.
I love
Seven
that.
is
That is so funny.
interesting.
Okay, what about living in America or living in Nigeria?
Just had
That's
this
so funny.
conversation in the car.
Holy Spirit, come on
Yeah.
now. The Holy Spirit is one.
Hard, man. Living in America in 2025.
Getting scary.
A little different.
Getting scary
None
out
of the
here.
above. Sorry.
Neither.
Neither.
Neither. Yeah. What about you, Shay?
Honestly, I've been considering China. No, but
Oh,
no.
okay.
So I'm really curious about their culture, about
Yeah.
how they
Okay.
literally. I am getting like way too technical, but like how they've been able to lift their country and build all these things, and
Yeah, it's
I want
crazy.
to learn, like,
Yeah.
because the infrastructure in America is good, but not as great as
compared.
It
China.
has
No, it's not
nothing on
compared.
Asian,
So
yeah.
living in China.
Okay.
Okay.
Final
all right,
answer.
fair.
Final
fair.
answer.
And then our last one is, since you guys are content creators, do you prefer TikTok or Instagram?
Ooh. As a consumer of content, I
Yeah.
love TikTok.
Okay.
As a content creator, I love Instagram because
Okay.
that's our primary platform.
Yeah.
Our community is very engaged on there.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, nice.
Same.
What about you, Shay?
Same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Fair.
Okay.
That's a good answer.
That is good. Yeah, so we love that we got to know you guys a little bit better. And so can you please share with us like your love story? So like whatever the journey was to getting to each other. Yeah. And it can be, you can start, jump in, you guys can tell it
Because
together.
you know that there's always two versions.
I was going to say, you guys are going to get my version today.
Yeah, there's always two
Whoever's
versions.
version. And you
So
can
whoever
share
wants to share their
Yeah,
version.
I mean, we met when we were in college.
Okay.
It was the summer before our senior year.
Okay.
And I met him through his sister. So the very first time we saw each other, it was at a graduation party. And we have so many mutual friends.
Really?
So he was there and his sister was like, hey, I want you to meet someone, meet my brother. And I was like, cool, nice to meet you. And I'm like,
He wants to part.
Wait.
I was like, okay. It was so awkward because I'm like, okay, what now?
You
Like,
didn't say how awkward it was.
why am
It
I
was
meeting
like
this brother?
I was sitting with a plate of rice, half a spoon in my mouth. My sister was here and it was, hey, Bisola, come here, come meet my brother. This is Shay. And I'm like, oh,
Okay. All right.
that kind of thing.
And I was
Wow.
like, all right, now what? And then
Yeah.
everyone's just looking, and I was like,
Oh, so
okay.
this was intentional. Like they were trying to.
Yeah, apparently so. But I was so innocent and naive and clueless. And I was just like, okay, why am I
Okay.
meeting your brother?
Rice
And
was
then
good.
shortly after, so his sister and my sister are friends.
Okay.
And so my sister was going to his sister's house for like a party,
Uh-huh.
you know, kind of like game night kind of
game
thing.
night. Mhm.
And she was like, yeah, do you want to come along? And I was like, yeah, no.
No thanks.
And
No,
she
no,
was
no.
like, yeah, you should come along. And I was like, but no, though. Like, I don't want
don't want
to.
some-
Like,
okay.
I don't
Sisters
know
were
your...
plotting behind the scenes.
Apparently
Wow.
so.
Oh, that
And
is
I
so
didn't know
cute.
this, like,
Well,
until...
Your sister didn't know.
Oh, she
Okay.
didn't know?
No.
Okay.
But your sister
But
did.
your sister
Yeah.
knew. They were
I
like, "That's
mean,
the
we
one
planned
want."
the entire event so that she could come.
Really?
Oh, so at this point
Wait,
you were
is it
locked
true?
in. You were like, "That's the one I want."
Okay, so the part of the story she didn't tell you was that for the longest time, my sister had been trying to connect me to her.
Okay.
And so I was like, yeah, no, my sister's friend's sister, I'm not interested.
Not interested.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
she showed me the picture.
And you were like,
You were
"Oh
like-
yeah."
And I was like, oh, yeah.
Let's talk.
Exactly.
Like, we can
So,
talk about it.
after the graduation party where we met at, I was going to ask her for a number, but then everybody was like trying to say, hey, because they finally saw a fine girl. And I was like, all right, it's okay. She's not going to give anybody,
Wow.
she didn't give anybody a
Yeah,
number.
yeah, yeah.
And I was like, I got you.
She's a good
Okay.
girl.
And so that's why you planned
You
to get
planned
together.
to get together
so that, her
could
sister
come.
could come and casually bring her along.
Nice.
Really?
So, yeah, she succeeded in dragging me along that day, and the rest is history.
Oh,
Really?
Okay, so I want more details. So when you saw him at the get together,
Mhm.
were you like more open?
No,
Because
he was just
She
cool
was
people.
blown away.
She's like, "Mm-mm."
No, he was, and even like when we started to talk and
Yeah.
get closer together, I saw him as a good friend.
okay,
Like I thought he was a very sensible person,
Yeah.
very
Yeah.
reasonable. I was
Yeah.
even trying to connect him with my best friend. I'm like,
Oh, wow.
you guys should talk like he's
So
Christian. He's such a good
nice.
guy. Like I genuinely
Jay's
just
He would just go over her head. He was like,
I
"What?"
was like, he's such a good guy. Like you should. I was just so naive and innocent.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Mm.
Got
Wow.
you. When did you go to school?
Hood College.
Hood. Okay.
Frederick. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then what was the turning point for you guys? Like, what was the turning point? Like you said, you built this great friendship, which we always talk about, like having a
Mhm.
friendship.
Very important.
What was the turning point?
There was no turning point for me.
You were already
You
locked
already
in.
knew. You
Shay,
were
we
locked
know
in.
you were locked in. We
Yeah.
know
They
that.
knew
Yeah.
what was going
We
on.
know
As
you
long
were
as you
locked
know
in.
that.
Yeah, you were locked in, Shay.
He's
You
like,
were locked
don't
in.
mistake it.
Yeah, you were locked in. What about you?
What was a turning point? I mean, at some point, I guess there was a blur between when it was just friendships, and then I started to get, I guess,
Feelings.
yeah, feelings.
Oh.
Okay.
And I don't really know if there was a switch that turned, but
Yeah.
I just know that as I started to get
Progressively.
closer to him,
Yeah.
I started to see him differently.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he started asking, and I was like, yeah, but we're just friends, so no. But he was persistent,
He was
and I
persistent.
appreciate that he stayed.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
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 That's good. You
That's
got to
so
work
good.
for what you want, right?
Yeah, the
Shay?
persistence. I think that speaks to just like, yeah.
That makes you value that thing, right? Like, You're like, I worked hard
You
for
a
this.
jewel, baby. Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Not going
Absolutely.
nowhere. So I love
Okay,
that.
so then now you guys are together, and are you able to share like how old were you guys at this time?
I had just turned 21 when we started dating. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
I was 20.
Okay, and so how did you know? So like you said, you knew that she was like the one, or whatever. But when you or did you?
I
Okay, that's
didn't-
good. Okay,
No,
perfect.
let's be clear.
Okay, good, because that's kind of what I wanted to get to. So like, how did you know this was my wife?
I didn't know the show was my wife then, but
No,
I knew
when? Like
that-
when did you?
Oh, when did I
Yeah.
know? Oh God. I can't really say like,
Okay.
okay, so we dated for 3 years before I proposed,
Right.
right? And, she had the right, the right values. She had the
Mhm.
right mindset.
Yeah.
She had the right, physical attractiveness as well.
Mhm.
Like everything was right. And then continuing the 2 years, right? We continued getting closer. We continued, you know, learning more about each other to
Of
the point where I
course.
was like, yeah, okay, I want to continue down this path.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I think we were just in the right stage of life at that time.
That's good.
That's good. And what I hear is like you really put in work for the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Like the things that you just checked off, those are all the things that
Mm.
sustain life, sustain
Mm.
marriage.
Absolutely.
That's really good.
And so how has so those initial stages, how do you feel like that's prepared you or even sustained the 13, right? 13 years? in marriage? Or is
Almost
it
12 years in April.
Almost 12 years. Okay, 12 years in April. How do you feel like that foundation has sustained your marriage now?
You'll take that.
I mean, like you said, we were such good friends and we got so close together that
Mhm.
if we were to go our separate ways, it was almost like I couldn't imagine life without him. Like we're so synced together.
She says that a lot.
It just only made sense that
Yeah.
we would just kind of become husband and wife and live our lives together.
Like the
Yeah.
natural progression.
Right, exactly. Right, exactly. So I think that kind of set a foundation for like, this is my best friend. This is the person I'm doing life with.
Yeah.
And it's like anything else that comes, it's just kind of like there's already something built. Solid
That's
there
good.
that is just like, oh yeah, we don't have money today, but how do we make money tomorrow? How do we get a job?
Yeah.
You know, like he
Yeah.
helps me, like he literally helps me apply for the first job that I got.
Really?
Literally, I got an interview and I was like, oh, there's this random people that reach out to me. He's like, oh yeah, I applied. Like, do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we do whatever we have to do to make it work.
I
Like,
love that.
you know, if we need to prep for the interview, let's prep together. Like, let's
Together.
do what we have to do.
I love
The
that.
team.
And
The team.
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
good.
We had kids, you know, like just life dynamics, and over the
changing,
years,
yeah.
we have kids. Let's figure this thing called parenting
Thing,
out.
yes, yes.
And
The adventure, right?
it really was an adventure, especially with our first. And
Bruh, that first, yeah.
it
humble
was,
you.
you know, it was different.
Yeah.
But working together,
Mhm.
and even though it started out being different, like, okay, we don't know what we're doing here,
Yeah.
but we figure it out. Like, I
Yeah.
tell you, this is what I need. You tell me, this is where I'm struggling, and we come together and figure it
Figure
out.
it out.
Yeah.
And you guys have a boy and then a
We have a
girl,
boy and
right?
a girl,
How old
yeah.
are your kids?
They are 10 and 6.
Okay,
Yeah.
so almost exactly. I think my kids are exactly a year older than yours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But we all have boys first.
Boys
and girls
first.
second.
Yeah, that is
Nice.
something. Yeah, boys and girls. Yeah. And so ours are 3 years apart. Yours are 4,
Okay.
and yours are 4
They're,
or 3.
yeah, like 3.5.
3.5.
Yeah,
Nice.
7, yeah.
That
Mine
is
are 11 and 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
yeah,
so
we're all
crazy.
like in the same,
The same
phase of
thing,
life.
yeah.
It seems like
And-
we got married. I think I got married in 2012. You guys would have been 2013, and she's 2014.
2014.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy.
Cute.
Okay, so I want us to kind of switch to kind of like our like personal, right? Your personal loving me, right? And so that's that self-love that made you who you are for your partner, right? And so Shay, I'll start with you, right? You know, something that Biswas shared was that you had like the right values and like basically had a good head on your shoulders and like you knew what you wanted, right? So where do you feel like that foundation came from?
Primarily my parents.
Okay.
My dad and mom were always in the house. They set a good foundation. They raised me up in church. And it's not just about go to church and come back home, but like you got to read your Bible. You got to do morning devotion. You got to do, the typical African parents kind of thing
Yeah.
that they do, right? So they set a lot of that foundation on the one side. on the career side, right? Once again, the African parent thing where you got to study, you got to be the best in school, you got to, do all of that. There's that. Then when it came to career, you have to figure out how you have to stand out. So all the things that I needed to succeed in life, the foundation was set by my parents.
Yeah.
Ultimately, that's why we're trying to do the same thing for our kids right now, right?
Right.
Even teaching me how to respect a woman, love a woman, right? It's from seeing my parents interact that. And that's not to say they're perfect, right?
Of
Naturally,
course. Of course.
human beings have their own things that they do.
Of course.
But I'm not perfect. I don't expect them to be perfect, but they gave me everything that I needed to be able to be, who I am today.
Yeah.
And so when I met her, like, I knew how to respect a woman in a sense, right? Like, and I also, for example, I knew how to not force her before she was ready.
Yeah.
But how to be patient and, keep talking to her.
Can you clarify the forcing her before she was ready? Because
true. Let's
Okay.
the internet.
Let me clarify
That's so true.
When she claimed I was just a friend, right? I knew how to not try to say, no, you have to make a decision today. Let's start dating. Let's get into a relationship. I mean, I understood that there was a value in building a solid friendship before then taking it to the next stage. And so, yeah, probably in my first month, I was like, hey, so by the way, what's going on? And she was like, I mean, I didn't say it that way, but you get the idea, right? I think the first time we hung out, it was somewhere in Baltimore. And I was coming creepily close somewhat, and you're like, yeah, wait, what's going on?
Like, hold on,
I literally was like,
so I understood then that it was, okay, we're still friends. And so, okay, maybe a hug from the side is fine, but a hug from the front, maybe not.
Maybe not,
that kind of thing.
Yeah. That's good that you, like, it just goes to boundaries even too, right? Like you were respectful of her boundaries and you were able to take it at her pace, which I think that not a lot of people understand. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I want that and I want it now. That instant gratification is so important, but everything good kind of takes time. So that's really good. How about you, Bisla? I was like, I can repeat the question. So how do you feel like your foundation, where do you feel like your foundation was kind of laid? Yeah.
Because he also said the same things about you, that you had good values, good morals. He loved the things he saw.
That's a great question. Yeah. I would say it's from God, like, and indirectly from my parents, because we were in church. My parents were pastors for as long as I remember. And we were constantly in church, always in church. And when my parents were not in church, the youth church is in church. Like, so I would, if my parents are not in church, I would walk to church, 30 minutes to church. Wow. I would. Yeah. Wow. And I loved being in church. Wow. We would just hang out. Like, even when we're not in church and I'm hanging out with my friends were my friends from church.
Yeah.
And we're hanging out. We're like, oh yeah, so what's your favorite Bible character? These were I kid you not. Wow. These were the conversations we had. And we would talk about the life.
It's like she was like, clear that up. There was none of that.
Let me just say, clear that up. Clear it up.
We would talk about the life of Joseph. We would break it down, and we would be laughing, and like that was fun.
Wow.
So for me, like, even when I came to the United States, like, those values stayed because I came by myself. I could have done literally whatever I wanted to do. Yeah. And even for the longest time, my dad was like, so this one that you are by yourself, like,
what you doing? What you doing by yourself?
But I'm like, I mean, the values are there. Like, I don't obey God because you told me to obey God. It started out that way, but I know God for myself, you know?
Yeah.
So I had, the values remained. The very first time I went to like a school party in college, I was like, what's this?
What is happening?
What? Like, how is this is fun? And I was like, ow, this is not for me.
Wow.
So the foundation has always been there, and I'm super grateful to my parents for it. And it's what you see. Like, at night, I will wake up and see my dad in his library. He's studying his Bible. He's praying, and that stuck with me.
I love that. And so, in your marriage, I guess, like, what is something, like, individually, right? Because obviously we know marriage is two people from two different backgrounds, even with similar values and things like that, coming together, right? How do you guys still prioritize Shay, and how does Bisla prioritize Bisla? Yourself. Like, what are some of those things that you guys do for yourself in your marriage? Shay always wanted to defer to Bisla. Like, you want to go first?
He's like, you go first.
I feel like something that maybe I can answer this for both of us that we kind of do now as like a routine is like we work hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, we work so hard. Like when you're asking the question of like owning your business, like, doing social media versus 9 to 5.
Yeah.
9 to 5 for some people is contained.
It
nine
is
to five.
contained. Yeah.
For us, it's not contained. Like before we came here, we've recorded a whole ad.
Yeah.
It's
I
like
believe
and
working.
You're working. You're working.
Marriage night the other day after we got back home, we
You still-
recorded.
really?
Yes, we did until 1 a.m.
Wow.
So it's we're constantly working. And so
working.
on Friday nights, it's kind of like an onset thing where it's just like
Nothing.
after the kids are fed, everyone's
us.
done.
Yeah.
It's like peace out. He does his thing. I go on YouTube. I watch my Nollywood movie.
Oh, that's so cute.
Unwind with a good Nollywood movie.
Friday
That's
night, so
right.
when I can have ice cream, that's my thing.
That's your
It's
thing,
like,
yeah.
every other day it's off the table. On
Yeah.
Friday nights, though, strawberry ice cream,
I know
you're
that's
coming
right.
out.
That's
Yeah.
hello.
We
Exactly.
kind of just let me breathe. Just let me not think about
Yeah.
any. I don't care what's not done yet. It's
Yeah.
just it's Friday night. So,
yeah, that's good. Okay, so you guys have Fridays for yourselves.
I love
That's
that.
good. You want to add anything, Sashi?
Yeah, I would say in addition to that, I typically just have my guys I tend to hang out with, and
Good.
I'm like, hey, I'm gonna see you later.
I'm always jealous, by the way. But
Oh,
I mean, you
I
have
was
your
like-
friends.
I was like, so what you guys talk about?
I'm the same way.
I was about to say this one right here. She want to be all up under that ball. This one
Like, where
right
y'all
here.
going without me?
Why are y'all having fun without me? Because
Like,
he's
why? Like, he calling the phone, laughing, ha ha ha. Like, it's nothing
What's so
funny.
funny? What are
if
y'all
I'm not
laughing at?
there?
Wow.
I'm like, girl, let that man breathe, please. That's good. Okay, so
But I feel
you
you.
feel like the separation. Not I don't mean separation like that, but you just having your time with your boys
Yeah.
is good for you. Shay, is what you're saying.
I'd say that yes,
Mm-hmm.
in general, but whether it's my boys or whoever it is, right? I think
Mhm.
having time to do other things
Yeah.
gives you a different perspective.
Absolutely.
Right? And I love you, but at some point I can get tired of you. Not
Yeah.
because I'm tired of you as a
It's
person,
work,
but
yeah.
I just need mental space. The same way I'll get tired of my kids, the same way I'll get
Yeah.
tired of
So honest.
my boss. Probably
So
my threshold for you is so much higher than everybody else because you're special. But in the end, sometimes, you just need
Absolutely.
a different perspective. And,
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
that's why you have friends. That's why you have networks, right?
Yeah, community.
Yeah.
That's good.
So and like we're talking about content creation and how it's impacting your marriage, right? So my next question is how has your business and working together impacted the both of you?
I can write a dissertation.
Can you?
Well,
Tell us.
That's actually a book we want to
You
write.
should.
Yeah, you
I've been talking
should.
about it for a few years, but
Yeah.
it's been quite the journey.
Mm-hmm.
We have very different working styles, right?
Yeah.
I'm the kind of person where, let's start actually first. I'm the kind of person where I live and thrive on inspiration, right? Because, more on the creative side.
Yeah.
And she's the kind of person that she lives and thrives on structure.
Structure.
And so I'm like, oh, by the way, this idea will be great. Let's do this right now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm ready to get up and start doing that. She's like, no, we have other things planned. We cannot do that.
Yeah.
And, at the beginning, there were times it caused disagreements
Of
because
course. Yeah.
that was really well, not really our first time, but like our first time working so intensely
Yeah.
together.
Intensely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's levels to working together,
Of
right?
Oh,
course,
yes.
of
Yeah.
course.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, and Shay, before you continue, I think like just giving people like obviously you guys are in content creation, but could you guys give us like a little background because there's something that you said when we got you guys at marriage night that Shay is the one who kind of pushed you into this, like into content creation, if I remember correctly. So can you guys tell us a little bit about even how that even came to be? I don't think we got there.
Yeah. How did it get to it's been a long journey that
Yeah.
we never sat down one
2022.
day and was like, let's become content
Right.
creators.
I don't think it ever starts that way.
So
Yeah.
it started really from my personal blog
Mhm.
where I was writing during
Actually,
maternity
before
leave.
that,
Before
yeah,
that,
it started from Transloft because that's
When I
when you
had
had to
a-
first do something on social media.
I guess, yeah, technically. So I had a ready to wear business.
Mhm.
And then I guess I would have to take pictures and put it online, and he would help me take the pictures.
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And put it online, and I would have people buy the clothes and all of that.
Yeah.
And then when I had my daughter, I was just I guess bored during maternity leave. More like had space to think.
To think, yeah.
And I would just
Be
write
creative.
down my thoughts.
Yeah.
And eventually, when I showed it to him, he was like, "Yeah, that's that's a blog, right? Like you're gonna put it online, right? And I was like, no, just writing it.
Just
He's
for
like,
me.
no, like you are gonna.
You're
put it
going
online.
to put it.
Actually, you are going
And I
to
was
go online.
like, I guess that's a good idea.
Mhm.
And I put it online, and it was doing its own thing.
Yeah.
And naturally, I had social media to kind of triage people
Of
back to the
course.
blog.
Yeah.
And then one day during the pandemic, I was like, I think it was our anniversary, and I was like, hey, let's do a dance together so I can post something to kind of like,
Yeah.
tell my
Yeah.
followers.
Add them followers, yeah.
Yeah.
So we did a little TikTok dance together. We didn't have TikTok then. I didn't have it then. And I put it on Instagram, and we did it. And like all these people were like liking and commenting. And I'm like, I don't know you guys, but,
Where does this come from?
but okay. And I was like, you want to do another one?
Yeah. Let's do another one.
That's how we started.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
I love that.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so when did you guys know that, like, okay, this is something? Like, this is something. Because it's one thing to like make one video and then people like it, but then like this is actually something.
I think we enjoyed it.
That's true.
Like, I mean, we knew there was potential to make money from it, but we really did enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's weird, like, because technically we're just dancing for the camera.
Yeah.
It's not like we're always dancing. Sometimes we did skits,
Mm-hmm.
but it was a way to take our mind off work and the stress of the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was the main reason we're doing it then.
Yeah.
And then, gradually we got followers. And so it's like, well, you don't want to get all those followers and then you're disappointing them. Like
Right.
Yeah.
You're not
but you
doing
also had that
anything.
desire to continue
To
creating. So
continue,
it continued, right? And then we got our first brand campaign, and it was like, oh, somebody will pay us to do
To
this.
do this? What we're doing for
and
free?
send us free products.
Yeah.
Nice.
And
nice.
so I think that's when we started the shift from fun to business. But even then, it
business,
still
yeah.
took about 2 years
right.
to fully make that shift because we had our jobs. We
Right.
were, we didn't even really have a clear niche per
Niche.
se.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
yes, I
yeah.
know we were a fun family, but we didn't see it as like that's our niche. We saw it
Right.
as we're just doing stuff fun that from our house.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's good.
Good. Yeah.
So I think that goes back to like the initial question that Memi
Yeah.
asked.
Yeah, that we asked talking about how has it impacted the relationship?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we talked about work styles where I'm the crazy, she's the executioner, right?
Yes.
Well, the executioner. We're not killing anybody here.
Executioner.
The executor.
Lord, please.
And I'm sitting here like, yes.
She's like, yeah, executor.
Oh yeah, but so there's that part, but then there's also the part where I'm the kind of person that I'm always trying to come up with a different way of doing things,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, what's the focus? Why are we doing this way? And doing the over analysis. And she's the kind of person that don't worry about thinking. I mean, thinking is good, but don't worry
Yeah.
about strategy. Don't worry about thinking.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll learn from executing. You learn
Yeah.
from just moving.
Yeah.
And so I think we've had so many arguments just
Mhm.
from
Of course. Of course.
me waking up at 4 a.m. and saying, babe, I had this amazing idea.
Idea.
What if we change the strategy? Literally 4 a.m.
Mm-mm.
And she's
She's
like,
like,
And
yep.
I'm
You lost your
we
mind.
just changed the strategy yesterday. We haven't even had the chance
So
to
you really
test
tried it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not exaggerating, literally yesterday. And this will happen over and over again. And you can see how it would start to get frustrated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we had our share of arguments.
Of
We
course.
probably still do sometimes.
Of course.
But
natural.
it's so
It's
different now,
yeah.
I'd say.
So
Yeah.
how did you get to better? Like what was that compromise between being someone that is like, I just want to do everything in my head and get it out, and you're just like, hey, let's have structure. How
I
did you
listened to
guys?
her.
You listen- Good.
I-
Say it
Wise
again.
man, wise
Say it
man.
louder. Get
Wise
closer to the
man.
mic.
No, in fairness,
Wise
though,
man.
she's right. Because, yes, it's good to have all the strategies. But in the end, if you're just changing strategies over and over again and you're not executing them, you
Yeah,
can't
you're like on a
test to see
hamster
what
wheel.
works.
Right.
Right. And so, I listened to her. Now, the other part was I made sure that, from her perspective, she listened to me because she then applied more interest. She showed more interest in the strategy, even though in her head, she was probably like rolling her head. But she was like, okay, fine, let's test this.
Yeah.
We tested it. And so I got my data, I got my gratification that, okay, this works, this doesn't work.
Mhm.
And over time, like just that speed of iteration is what got us
Yes,
to the right
yeah.
place.
Yeah, but it's
Okay,
not but
product
compromise-
manager.
Yeah, definitely product manager. But still, I heard compromise though, right?
Yeah,
Like it wasn't all your
definitely.
way, and it wasn't all your way.
Absolutely.
Because the thing is, right, and I think that that's something myself and Memi can relate to, just being in business together. That like both of you're coming from different lenses, right? I'm definitely more of the like, let's just do it. Like I will come up with an idea. and call Memi. I will see notes coming through the shared notes. And I'm like, okay, Memi had an idea. And I'm like, we should do this tomorrow at this time. And Memi's like,
Wow.
First of all,
Lara, let's, we still have like all them other 10 other things that we still need to check off the list. And I'm like,
Yeah.
you're right. So I feel like it is very necessary. But the thing is, I also, within a business, right? Like sometimes you do have to take risks, right?
Yeah.
And obviously to get the data, because sometimes it's like, okay, that wasn't the best, but now we've tested it, we know, and this is tried and true. Let's do that. But it doesn't happen if you don't compromise.
Absolutely.
So that's good.
Even more so than in addition to compromising is like now leaning on each other's strengths. Like, it's like, I know you're great at something, and I know it gives us something. There's value out of that.
Yes.
And so now I lean into that and I take advantage of it. And he takes advantage of me executing. I'm like, based on all these things that you laid out, these are our 10 actions
we're going to do.
These are the items. Yes. These are the items we're going to tackle.
Right. And so we stick to that list. We stay grounded. We do what we have to do before the next strategy comes.
No scope creep. No.
So I think we've really, really established a good rhythm. It did take us longer than we needed to get there.
But that's reality, though.
Right.
Yeah, that's reality. Like, if we all knew the formula, we would do it.
Everybody would do it. Everybody would be millionaires, right?
I mean, and this is kind of why we do what we do, right? Yeah. Like, I think about like even the post that you guys did when you like over Pastor Victor's sermon. I just like, it's like the things that are so practical, right? Like I want this to open the can and did it. Like I think about the little things sometimes, and like he was giving us a sermon. You made it relatable. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And I feel like that's just the beauty of like what you guys do. And like we take the things that we've experienced, the clinical things that like I know just from like healthy communication and things, and like, all right, here it is, and trying to give it bite size,
applicable to real life.
But does it still take work? Obviously, we wouldn't be here if it didn't take work. Right. You know what I mean? So I just think that's so good. And like, so I feel like it segues nicely into the loving you, right? So obviously, I'm sure you guys have heard the saying that marriage is the mirror that you hold up to yourself. Like, that your partner holds up to like show you all of your beautiful and ugly flaws, right? Yes. And so how do you feel like, Bissell, I'll go to you first. Like, how do you feel like Shay has allowed you to see yourself in your marriage, good and bad, good or bad? Sorry.
Who was I before Shay? That's the question. I don't even remember who that version of me. And you've known me for long enough time. That the people who knew me back then don't recognize who I am anymore. Even
different girl.
Even I don't recognize the Bisola of then would not be sitting in this podcast today. Absolutely not.
So good.
I was very timid.
Like, is it audio only? Maybe, possibly.
Right. I was very timid in a room of people. I would never speak. Yeah. I almost want to think that I had selective mutism because I would not speak.
You were just quiet.
I was just very quiet, very not confident. Yeah. And I think there's probably a few reasons why I was that way. But I think I know he brought out something that was like recessive in there. And he's like, you can do this, babe. That's like, so you can lead the meeting at work. Why aren't you? Yeah. Why is he leading it? Why is she leading it? And I'm like, I mean, but they did fine.
Like choosing right.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't nothing like choosing right.
Yeah.
Child. Like we can really go off on a tangent right there. Because it's nothing really like choosing right.
We would practice my meetings at home. I would go to work and act like, I got this. And he would call me and I'm like, baby, it was amazing.
I'm telling you, like, there's nothing like choosing right.
And the first few years of my career, I was on the same level. Yeah. And by the time he started to be like, nah, we got it. Why aren't you leading that task? Why haven't you?
Come on now.
Right.
I mean, those promotions came like, it was insane.
It was
At some point, people started...
We're going to pick you up, Shay. We're going to pick you up a little bit. We're going to pick you up, Shay.
Yeah. It was like, okay, she can be the manager. I mean, why isn't she the senior manager? This like, and boom, 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 boom. And that translates to everything else that I've done afterwards. Now beyond my career, it's now I'm talking to millions of people.
That's it. Period.
With authority, so, and Bisola of then could never have done this. And I think it's all because of him telling me, and he goes, "I'm your trainer. That doesn't mean I can do it. I know you can do it." But that
That's right.
That
Do
was
as I
what-
say, not as I do.
That was just what I was about to say. That everything she's saying that she does, that she can talk to millions of people, go into a room and walk the room.
Yeah.
I'll still go into the room and stay at the corner. Just to be there.
Shay, you are low key the same still a
I was
little
thinking
bit.
about that. I'm like, cause Shay was really shy as
That's
well.
funny. That's
No,
funny.
but that-
he
oh,
didn't
man.
show that side. I mean, he like with me, he was very comfortable.
Yeah, of course,
obviously.
of course.
And he literally pushed me. The other day, he got me leading what was the conference of like top
Oh,
business
yeah.
people and career
Really?
people. And he's like, "Babe, you can do it." I was like, "Serious?
Like, Shay
Seriously?
really?
Why don't
still
you
doing
do
this?
it?"
do it. You do it.
He's like, "No, babe, you can do it."
You're representing us.
And
Right.
he did it. And
I
it was
love it.
amazing. And
Oh
I
my-
loved it.
oh my
So,
gosh, I
I'm so
love
happy
that
about
all
shit.
thanks to
this.
him.
That
Good
is
job, Shay.
amazing. And I really do want to stay here for just a bit, just because I think that is so powerful that like in marriage, right? Like, we had an episode where we talked about like how we felt like we were God's gift to like this earth when we got into our marriages, right?
Mhm.
But it requires that fine tuning a lot of times. It requires that pushing. It requires somebody to hold up the mirror to you and say, I see all of these beautiful qualities in you. Why don't other people see them in you? And then help you get there.
Yeah.
And that does not always happen when you don't choose right. You know what I mean? And it's crazy because I could say like, oh no, Shay's quiet or Bissol's quiet. But like for the fact that your husband is championing you behind the
It's a
scenes,
beautiful thing.
you can do whatever you want
Absolutely.
because he believes in you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just like on the flip side, there are people like there are unfortunately relationships where like the husband or the wife like push down people's gifts
Yeah.
and like bottle up people's gifts and like they're not able to flourish or you're not a good speaker. Who thinks you're qualified or da. Like, so it can really go either way.
Yeah.
So it's so nice to see. And it's so nice that you're giving credit, to your husband, because that is it. We cannot stress it enough that like Memi says also, she's like, marrying wrong can ruin your life.
Absolutely.
Literally ruin your life.
100%.
It
yeah.
can
Dismantle your
ruin
life.
your
Yes.
life.
100%.
But on the flip side, marrying right,
A gift.
like, I
It's a
mean, it is
blessing.
such a testimony. Like, that
Really
is
a
just,
blessing.
Yeah.
that's so good. So, Shay,
Yeah.
big ups to you for that.
Big
Like,
ups, Shay.
And one more thing I want
Of
to add,
course.
when you think about it, like where I am now working full time being a content creator,
Yeah.
if he hadn't pushed me to start that blog,
Yeah.
look at that.
I
Look
would
at it.
never
Mm.
be here right now.
I'm telling you.
Never, because I never would have.
Crazy.
There was not a point in time where I was like, I want to become a content creator.
Yeah.
It's just stuff that he was pushing me to,
Right.
like, hey, do this and do
Yeah.
that, and here we are.
And I think that's even for him too. So I'm sure like his vision wasn't necessarily like, oh
No,
yeah.
no.
It was just like,
Yeah,
follow your dreams. You're
Yeah.
good at
Yeah.
this. Pushing and investing in
Yeah.
your interests and your gifts.
Yeah.
yeah, but
you
you
know,
have to sow those
But you have to
seeds.
see.
You
Oh
forgot
yeah, I was about to
to-
say it. The
Forgot
seeds,
to water.
gotta
If you
water
don't
'em.
give him anything
Come
to
on
water,
now.
like
Gotta sow the
That's
seed.
literally what I was about to say.
Yeah.
Like the
Gotta sow the
seeds, like
seed.
the harvest is now, but
Yeah.
like it's those early stages
Absolutely.
that was the seed that was in the ground, and it's really because of your husband.
Yeah.
That is just
Yeah, good
What else to
job.
you guys?
Let's say
I
your
love that.
turn. What?
yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah.
I don't know how I'll go after
Yeah,
that,
I
but
don't know how to go
let's
after
see. I mean, I'll
that.
say for me, it's been that I alluded to the first part, right, where I have a lot of these ideas,
Yeah.
and they literally just come like a waterfall in my head. But the problem with me is executing, right?
Yeah.
It's and it kind of comes with a space where most creative people are not necessarily great at executing, or even if they
Mhm.
execute, they're not looking at the full
picture.
And
Mhm.
so the challenge for me was, a lot of the ideas I had, I executed them right there and then. But
Mhm.
there's so much more to building an app, having a social media page, doing, content this way. And the one thing she brought to me was structure and
Mhm.
focus. Because the big challenge is, even up to now, I'm still not as great as her when it comes to executing. But when I look at a lot of our businesses that we've done together, the ones that have ever made a profit
Mhm.
are when she's involved.
Mm.
The ones that have never made a profit and shut down was when I did it alone. So I know where, like,
Yeah.
if I ever have any idea, I have to come to her
I
and
love
say,
that.
I love that's
I love
right.
that.
this is
what
my
I'm
vision,
thinking.
but I cannot bring it to life
I think
without
make
you.
help
Make
me.
sense. Make it
Help me
make
make it
sense,
sense.
babe.
Yeah.
And so, I know they say women birth things, and many times you think about like the birth, and I know it's not all women, but
Of
I'm
course.
generalizing, right?
Yeah.
And I know many times you think it's about, they give birth to a child, but no, like a lot of the ideas I've had, she's been the one to birth them into
Mm.
reality. And, if I was to look back at myself, right, like assuming there was no Bisola,
Mhm.
I don't think that. I think I'll be running from idea to idea without
Mm.
focus.
Mm.
And I mean, I can list out like 10 startups that I worked on
Nice.
that
Yeah.
I didn't involve her, and they were,
Great ideas.
they were great. Actually, one of them, I'll give an example, was in 2011.
Mhm.
I built an app similar to what we use in churches right now, where
Mhm.
you can pay your tithe, see your members, schedule groups, do a lot of those things. I built it in 2011,
2011.
and I tried to shop it to a few churches that were, they were interested, but it was even way,
It was too early, too
was too
advanced,
early.
too advanced. Too
but
advanced.
nonetheless, I could have sold it to them, right?
Yeah.
But once the first person showed some hesitation,
Mhm.
I was like, all right, fine, maybe it's not this. And
Maybe
I
it's
went to
not
the
this.
next idea.
Yeah.
But I didn't look at it from perspective of you need to do X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And so, assuming I had involved her at that time, I mean, I know now all the things she's doing that
Yeah.
I could have brought to life that
Mhm.
I just didn't think about. And it was just, okay, next on to the next idea.
Yeah.
So that's one part. The other part is, she has taught me to be more personable, more humane, because I think the Shay of before was, very logical, very, okay, this is what needs to be done.
Yeah.
And I don't necessarily think about people's emotions from that perspective. Share the feedback, but it's very factual.
Yeah.
As opposed to delivering the feedback in a way that is best for that person to receive it.
Yeah.
And so I think, just from working with her, from watching her, so many times when she says I push her out, it's for me to take notes so I can then do the same
How
thing.
she do it?
Exactly.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
good.
That's
So
really
good. And how do you feel like, before we segue into like your marriage, even though it's all been about your marriage though, but still, how do you feel like you've been fully, or how do you feel like your partner's love has changed you? And you kind of talked about that a little
A
bit.
little bit.
Yeah.
But I think we're talking more like on the emotional aspects,
Yeah.
like the act of loving. What has that done for you? Because I think we talked about business and
Business, right, and
career,
career.
but like,
I can give an example.
Yeah.
So when we first had our son, I had the mindset of an African father that there is a boy, you got to make him tough.
Yeah.
He's got to be strong. And so, when he was being a kid, he would do little things. I came with that mindset of, let's make him tough.
Yeah.
So he hurts himself. Okay, next time don't do that.
Yeah.
But then he's a 2-year-old boy. It's like he wants to be cuddled. He
Cuddled,
wants to be told, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you. Don't worry, sing for him, that kind of thing. Or I just didn't see that. Now, that's not to say my dad did that. My dad didn't do that to me, right?
Yeah.
But, you just get, I actually don't even remember what my dad did. I think it was just normal. He was a normal
Yeah,
dad,
just
right?
normal, yeah.
But I had from reading a lot of things, it's like you got to train a boy to be tough and all.
Of course.
And so I didn't realize that, once again, it goes back to what I said about relating more on an emotional level as
Yes.
opposed to being just X, Y, and Z.
Yeah.
Right. And so I think from watching her, from interacting with her, from really doing that, I've learned to get in touch more with my, I guess, what's the word? The
Emotional side.
I guess emotional side. Yeah.
for sure.
I mean, it's a bit more than that. Like, I've learned to be a whole lot more empathetic with people.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, I think that's
yeah.
it. So I've learned to empathize a whole lot more with people
That's good.
and see them more, really acknowledge what people are feeling,
Yes.
even if I don't agree, even if I have a different perspective.
Definitely.
and that's important as a father
Mhm.
to do that from the father's perspective, because I think oftentimes, like we had the episode about male vulnerability
Yeah.
and just what that instills in your son, like just the difference of saying, it's okay, boy, get up, you're okay, versus like boys don't cry.
Boys don't cry
You
when
know,
they hurt
that-
themselves. Yeah.
That it makes such a difference
Yeah,
in
it
their
does,
lives.
yeah.
So that's amazing that you noticed that, and so like good job.
Well done. Yeah, we've been hyper shade too much.
I
Good
know.
job.
Shout
Basala.
out
Good
you
job.
too. Good job.
Good job.
Good example.
Yeah. How about you, Basala?
The question was again, how is this
Yeah.
love?
Or
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how has Shay's love like affected you emotionally? Yeah.
I would say initially the way that he loves unconditionally and like selflessly is the word I'm looking for.
Selflessly,
Like
yeah.
selflessly.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, you will still go down. Like even though you just came upstairs, you still go downstairs and get me water. Like it's like
Yeah.
that's like you
Little
don't have
things.
to,
Have to do
you know?
that. Yeah.
And then just those little things and
Yeah.
like over and over and over again. It's
Yeah.
just like he's so nice. Like, like if I'm the one, I'll be like, oh, didn't you know when I was downstairs?
You should have asked for water when I was down there.
Literally, that would be me. And I'm like, it teaches me, like, every time I have to remind myself, if Shay was in your position right now, he would not complain.
What would Shay do?
What would Shay do?
Literally, he's so selfless, like very, very selfless.
Nice.
And I'm always like re-inspired every day. I'm like, I should be nice like this guy.
I love that.
So
good.
yeah, I just love that he does that.
I love that. All right. So loving us. So, we see, and I think you guys can relate to this, that we see that marriage is a bigger entity than just two people in a marriage, right? We believe it is for future generations, it's for our kids, it's for the kingdom, it's for our community. It's more than just two people, right? And so what would you say your marriage represents? Like, what do you feel like your marriage represents? And we started a little deep sometimes.
Yeah, this is kind of deep. So y'all got to think about it. That's okay.
Yeah, and if you have to think about it, that's fine, But what do you feel like your marriage represents? Like the Shofs. And it could be as the brand, whatever, because again, you do reach more. Mm-hmm. You reach way more people.
Like your community is there.
Large.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what does it represent?
That's a deep question.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I don't believe that I got married to him by coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I truly believe that God wanted us together, because otherwise there was just a lot of blockers that I would have been like, peace out.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that God wanted us together. And like, sometimes I'm like, but God, why? Like, and I believe that there's purpose in God bringing us together. And when you see some of the messages that we receive, oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And sometimes I just start praying and I'm like, this is you. Like, this is what you want us to be doing.
Yeah.
And if I didn't know that before, now I know. Like, I'm working in our marriage literally is in God's purpose for our lives to inspire others.
Mm-hmm.
This lady sent a message the other day and she was like, you probably would never see this. I mean, I'm seeing
Clearly, I'm seeing it.
I'm not that big.
Actually,
I wish I was that big.
You will be that big.
Amen.
Yeah.
But I've seen it.
Yeah.
And she said, you probably would never see this, but the things that you share about your home, it just tells me that it's possible. That, you can have a marriage that is fun, that is satisfying, that is fulfilling, and where the children feel loved and feel seen, and that the things that they care about, the parents actually care about. It was a whole essay. And it literally described our lives. It's like, that's what I want to do. If Mimi loves drawing, I want her to know that I know that she loves drawing and that I'm pouring into that. Like, I'm giving you the things you need,
the tools that you can do to thrive.
So, and that's my goal, is to take that and then inspire others to do the same. Like, if your kid loves math, like, make it fun. And make him enjoy.
You got the little Einstein over there.
Make him enjoy. Like, this boy, before I realized what was going on with him, he would just like sit down by himself. 2 plus 2 is 4, and then 4 plus 20 is... And like, he's literally, he thinks in math. And like, when I realized that, we started to like do all these games together, and he would just like be having fun with it. So just really seeing people, and not just people, your children. Like, a lot of us, from where we come from, the culture we come from.
Yes, talk about it. Talk about it.
Your children are just children, and they don't really matter. But I make sure my children know that they matter, and then I take that and I share it with others to, do the same with your family. So for me, it's our marriage really is working in God's purpose, and
Yeah, it's good.
That's really good.
It's hard to follow up on that.
I let you go first, but you can let her go first.
You should go first.
Let me see. What else can I add to that? The only other thing I can add to that, maybe is now from a guy's perspective, is, many times we hear stories, right, where men in the house are not doing right by their wives, right? So it doesn't always mean they're even messing around outside or anything, but they talk down to them. They may not be physical to them, but they talk down to them. They emotionally abuse them. They may not even know that they're doing it sometimes. Or on the flip side, they're trying to be a great dad, right? But then they're always working. They're just absent, right? And, it's great to make money. It's great to be able to provide for your family. Frankly speaking, it's great to be able to fly your family to Fiji tomorrow, next week, all those places, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, if the only memory your kids have of you is maybe daddy took us to Fiji last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Our
but daddy
annual
was
family
not home for the
vacation.
rest of the
First of the
year.
year. Yep. No.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not going to be memorable. They're not going to remember you. They're not going to form that connection with you as much. And so I think the one additional thing that, in addition to what she said, our marriage represents for me to fathers is, you can be present, you can smile, you can laugh, you can be free, you can have fun, and you can also work hard. Like, I was traveling to New Jersey every other week, right? I was staying in a hotel, but when I come home, I run around the house with my kids. Am I tired? Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But do they feel seen and loved? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Do I only ever show them love? No, that's not all. There are times where they mess up and I let them know I'm not happy with what they did. But I try to balance, love, discipline, correction, and just being present, right? But with providing, like, it's kind of like, if I was to put something, it's like, as a father, there are like many P's of marriage, right? You got to protect your kids. You got to pray for them. You got to provide for them. You got to be present there.
Yes,
I can keep coming up with more of those things, right? And you can't just optimize for one over the other. And so if I would say there's anything, additional that our marriage does, it's really for dads to be there for their family, right? And, my goal is not to preach that to people. I think people respond more to being shown things than being told things. And so my goal is to see how can we bring this creatively in a fun and engaging way that people will over time get the message and wants to try to do the same.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think what's so beautiful about what you guys are saying is that a lot of times we talk about social media relationships a lot, right? And like the pressure that people take from it and just like, oh, why are you not like him? But I appreciate how you guys are doing it in more of like a inspirational way. I'm not flexing on you. I'm not here to show you like my husband is better than yours or my kids are smarter than yours. It's like, no, this is possible. Like we are immigrants here. We are building this. We're doing this by ourselves, but we're coming from the ground up and we're making this work and we're working hard on our relationship. And so I appreciate how you guys depict the family life. It's not in a we're up here and y'all are down here. And I think that's so important in getting your message across.
It's real to me. It's real. You know what I mean? Like I think that it's so much things on social media can be so just driven by aesthetics, right? Yes, we want it to look nice, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. But I'd rather be real, right? I'd rather the content be real than pretty, if that makes sense. Like low key, like I don't care. Which is why I love me some TikTok. I ain't gonna hold you, but like I get it. I get it, but I get the platform. I get Instagram, but I just feel like I'd rather it be real, like. And like even you guys, like we argued a lot. It didn't just happen overnight. It's the realness of it all. Like it's like perfect. Yes, it looks pretty, but is it real? Because the same which is why I always hear me say I'm never standing over no celebrities, because you give us what you wanted to give us, and then next week we hearing that y'all divorcing, that there was infidelity, that there was this, that there was that, and everybody's
Lara got burned a couple of times with her celebrities.
Bruh.
Tiana. Jeannie Mae.
Can you stop? Stop talking about it.
Why?
She got burned, so
I did get burned a little bit, but they were not couples goals.
Not
I just
couples
liked
goals, but she
them.
just loved them. Yeah.
And then when they divorced, it's like I'm the one over here, heartbroken. Like I thought y'all loved each other. What's going on?
How could y'all do this to me?
Yeah. But actually, that actually segues. Probably like our last question, but what for you guys, right? Like you guys are a front-facing business, relationship, everything, right? It's front-facing. People are seeing it, but like, how do you guys balance like authenticity, but then like still protecting and keeping what's private in your marriage? Like, how do you guys balance that?
His strategies.
Well, my strategies are finally useful for something.
Everything that you see out there is not just randomly thrown out there. It's pre-planned. It's premeditated. It's intentional. This is what we have. We have our pillars. We call it our pillars. So we have our content pillars.
Yeah.
And these are the themes of messages that we want to pass across.
I love that.
And then it comes out in different creative formats.
I love that.
So there's parts of our lives that are not, like Mimi's ballet, for example, is not one of our content pillars. Like, so you don't see, it's not that I don't want to share. It's just, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not
so
there.
it's predefined intentional things that we share. So that's just it. And then when we come up with new ideas, we often ask, right, does this fit in our pillars? No, it's fun, it's funny, might go viral, but it doesn't fit.
Seems like a lot of
good.
ideas have died there. Yeah.
God.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
But I also really like
I
you just said this
appreciate
about
that,
that, like the
though.
viral, like, because the thing is, a lot of times it's just about the viral, but like you said, it doesn't fit, which is why a lot of times those things are one-offs a lot of times,
Yes.
because it doesn't fit with the brand, it doesn't fit with the messaging, it doesn't fit with like the value system at the core that you guys have built. And I really like that, because it's so easy to say, we can take this brand deal, but it don't align, the message or the platform doesn't necessarily align with what you guys align with.
Oh yeah, I've gotten some interesting ones. I have stories to tell, but yeah, you have to stay
We'll talk offline.
focused.
I can only imagine, right? I already know where my mind went.
Yeah,
It's probably there.
Exactly.
Mine too. My mom went there yet, but yeah. So we have, okay, so like, I want you to talk because I feel like I've been asking all the questions.
Oh
Is there
no,
anything?
you good.
I'm good.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, whatever, do whatever you want. Last question is for the couple who is, it doesn't even have to be content creation, it can just be business or whatever. What would you say is the best piece of advice you've read, you've experienced, you've heard, you've created, that you would give to a couple that could be in your shoes one day?
Just starting out. Like
Starting out.
All right, so I can take this on this.
Good. I was like, there you go.
All right,
job,
so
Faye.
I see marriage as like a co-founder or a business relationship, right?
Mhm.
And let's look at startup. When you're building a company, there's both of you come and one person says I get this percent equity, that person says I get that percent equity. I'm responsible for tech, you're responsible for sales. But before you realize it, everybody's doing everything to move the company. You're not just solely responsible for tech.
Yeah.
You're responsible for every single thing. The
That's
company
right.
doesn't run on tech alone. It doesn't run
Yeah.
on sales alone,
Yeah.
right? You need to think marketing, finance, budgeting. You need to, even within tech, you need to think about how you market within tech.
Mhm.
Like there's so much that is inside that. And so when you
Mhm.
think about marriage, it's really the same thing, right? Where, for a home to run, like
Mhm.
everybody has to think about everything.
Mhm.
And then more so when you're now married and working together,
Yeah.
like you're
Another layer.
complicating that
Another
relationship
layer.
even
Blurred,
further.
yeah.
Just adding more and more
And
layers.
so, for that, like the most important thing I'd say is you just need to be able to communicate.
Yes.
Well, let's take a step back. Everybody says communicate. You need to be able
Say
to
it every time.
identify each person's strengths, right? I know my strength. I know she knows her strength.
Mhm.
The times I've tried to plan something, we've never done anything.
Mhm.
The times she's tried to strategize my crazy ideas,
Yeah.
they've actually done kind of well.
It's like, wait.
Probably not as well as some of the things I've done, but they've done pretty well. But
Yeah.
the point is, each person has their strengths.
Yeah.
And if you don't recognize that and value that, then you'll start competing with each other rather than working together.
That's good.
You'll have arguments and, it's going to cause a lot of headache.
Yeah.
So I'll say there's that. The other thing I'd say is you should also realize, you're both coming at things from the best intentions. And if you're not coming at it from the best intentions, then you probably shouldn't be in
doing
business
it.
Right.
together.
I would say then we
Yeah.
should take it back a
So,
couple steps.
And last part, of course, you have to communicate, right?
Yeah.
Not everything in my head ever gets told to her.
Yeah.
And I'm executing, and she's like, wait,
Where did
what are
this
you
come
doing? Where
from?
are you going?
Where
I'm like, oh, I said it. No, you didn't. Oh, I said it in my head. I'm sorry. That kind of thing. So you have to actually verbalize the things that
Yeah.
you're doing.
That's good.
Another piece of advice that I would give to couples that are like just starting out in business
Yeah.
and married together is patience. Like things do take time. And I
Yes.
know in social media we make it they make it like they literally click a finger and oh my God, we built a house.
Yeah.
Click a finger.
And it's
the
oh my
house
gosh,
is
it's
decorated.
decorated. Like a finger.
And then you
Yeah.
swipe up and then it's like, I just quit my job and now I'm full-time in business. It's like
Making
things
5
are
figures a
happening.
month.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Or even 6 figures.
6 figures a
I love
month,
it.
right?
The things are happening. They
So
look
fast. It
like
look
they're
like it's
happening
happening
so fast.
Yeah.
But I promise you, it isn't.
taking
Anything
time.
good takes time.
Yeah.
Your morning will eventually come. Your morning may be different from my morning.
Yeah.
Our morning, it took a while.
It took a
but
while.
when it came. And it
That's
came,
good.
and it came in a way that we were like, this is God that brought this.
Yeah.
So take your time, be patient, do the grind. Like, don't give up midway because then it's like you've lost all this traction that you've made.
yeah.
Mm.
So, like, just stay there, do the grind. Eventually, your morning will come.
Amen.
Let me get to that real quick. Okay, I'll use another startup analogy. So there's this thing in startups called like the valley of despair. And it's like every new innovation, every new idea, every new business goes through a valley. You come up with the idea, there's a high, you go very high, you're excited, and then you start executing and it starts coming down. And then it doesn't just come down to like normal level, it actually goes down way below. And so that valley of despair is where a lot of companies die, a lot of ideas die. But what you don't see is that for you to get to that valley of despair, you've probably put about 2 years into that. And the truth is there's always light at the end of the tunnel, right? The reason why businesses die is because people give up. The reason why my startup, it was called His Arena, that was the church thing, was because I didn't push it enough, I gave up, right? And so the reason why anything would die, and it's not even just a business as a couple, even a marriage, the reason why people, marriages can die is because people give up. Of course, there's so many other reasons, right?
Come on now, you talking. Come on, talk.
But sometimes when you're in that valley of despair, you need to ask yourself that, actually, not even sometimes, everything will go through that valley at some point.
Yes.
And so you need to ask yourself that, what I'm doing, is it really worth it for me to go through everything that I'm going through? Because there are times we have the conversation that this social media is pointless. Why are we doing this? It's tiring. We're giving up our lives to literally please the algorithm for likes and shares and comments. And if you're looking at it that way, then yes, it's pointless. But if you're looking at it from perspective of, oh, we're having fun, this brings us together. And guess what? We're also impacting people because we've got all these messages from people saying, you don't know how we've changed my life. Like we got a 50-something or 60-something-year-old person that was like, wow, you've inspired me and my husband to start going out on dates. And this was like within the first year of us doing this. And we're like, no, we're just having fun. What is ours compared to like
there was an older Nigerian man that I saw, and he was like, I do follow you, even though we are a little bit advanced. However, we do learn one or two things. We pick up one or two things, and I never forget that interaction. Like that was just so wholesome.
That's what it's about, honestly. Like,
I love that.
I think that's so beautiful because, like we said it before, like it doesn't matter if you've been 1 month in marriage or 30 years in marriage, right? Like you can always learn perspective, right? Like, and you're showing that, right? And so, yes, it's that 40-year marriage that they've set in their ways, and they're like, date nights, that's all it took. I just need to go on a date night every now and then. And that's just because they saw a clip, you know what I mean? So I feel like the grind is so necessary. And like you said, that anything that's worth doing, that valley of despair it really is where dreams die sometimes. And even in marriage. So that was so good.
Very good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that was good. I want to thank you guys so much for your insights, for being so open, just about everything. Because I think that, there's always the one side to it. Like we see, again, the good, like the likes, the follows. But then like there's the times when it's just like, why are we doing this? But you guys absolutely are inspiring marriages. We are so grateful to at least know you guys, to even have you guys even come on a podcast today. So thank you guys for being our first guest. There's big shoes to fill after you guys.
Yeah,
so
they're gonna come
the pressure's
correct.
off of you guys, obviously.
Right, y'all did good.
It's everybody else that got to bring it. But thank you guys for our first episode of Loving Me, Loving You, Loving Us. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.